Hi everyone, Scrappy Cathy here with my new series called Scrappy Cathy Flips. And what it is a series consisting of flip throughs of various non-traditional, not 12 by 12 albums. I may do those someday once I have them all organized by theme and other crazy categories. But yesterday I did the first 1/3 of a travel memory book that I did for my granddaughter about the trip we took her on for her 13th birthday to Europe. And we took her to our old stomping grounds from when we lived there in 2001 and 2002. So, we ended in London on our way to Paris on the Eurostar from St. Pancras Station. So this was the last page I covered, and this is one of those insert pages that came in the book. This book is Amy Tangerine, and I probably bought it in 2012, 2013. I started filling it in 2015. I actually bought two of them. I remembered last night I bought two of these, and I think I gave one to one of the three girls who crafted with me. And I'm not sure how far she got with it, but and I'll have to ask. But I have to say, going through it, I wish I had another one. So anyway, this, in fact, it'd be easy to make, and I will show sometime in this series a couple of books I've made using my own binding tool to do a spiral bound book. And so it could be very easy to take your pattern paper and design your own book like this and then bind it in any number of ways. So this one was actually pre-done, so it made it, and I had lots of Amy Tangerine stuff, and I wasn't ashamed to mix in other stickers that I got elsewhere. So we'll start in Paris. We finished London, we're off to Paris. So this was the first photo of Katie in Paris, and she's taking her first breaths of Paris air while John gets some bread from the ATM. So, and the ATM is called Bread. It was funny at the time. You had to be there. I'm going to, I know that my background mat here is in camera range. So I figure as long as I keep the book on the mat, you'll be able to see it as well. If there's something I want to show you in close-up, I'll do that. Hopefully I'll get it right. This, after staying at what could be classified as a luxury hotel in London and fulfilling a dream that John and I had while we were there, we decided to do a funkier kind of place in a university neighborhood. So we picked up a place near the Sorbonne, and it's a perfectly fine hotel if you're in Paris for all of the sightseeing elsewhere and around. It's fairly near Notre Dame Cathedral. It's a short walk to the river and all that implies. But after the luxury hotel, you remember Katie was 13, she was very disappointed with all of the noise and the kind of shabbiness that surrounds a university type area. So, and our introduction to it wasn't great. The title of this page is Bad Hotel, and in fact it really wasn't. But the elevator, which was this contraption that only one of us and one piece of luggage could fit in at a time, the elevator went to the 5th floor and we were on the 6th floor, so we had to walk up some crazy stairs to get to the top part, and the elevator stuck with John stuck in it, and it took us, I don't know, maybe half an hour to get him out of there. So that kind of set things off badly. So you can kind of see that Katie's not too happy at the cafe. We walked down the street from the hotel. In fact, we're right across the street because I can see the sign there. And we're having coffee. And I found this little sticker set that had the croissant, the cup of coffee, and the newspaper, and the little bird on the chair, and thought it was perfect. But it would have been more perfect for a happier page. So we, in deference to Katie's attitude, and because it was her trip, we actually found a new hotel, but more about that later. So there's a lot of journaling on this page, and one of the clear stickers. One of our favorite places in Paris that kind of gives you a nice overview is on Rue Scribe, the Paris story, and it's kind of a multimedia presentation. So we took the metro to that area, went to see the Paris story, and because Ava loves palm trees, we were on the hunt for a palm tree in Paris, and we found one. Actually, I think this one was on Rue Haussmann, and well, no, that was actually in Montmartre. Anyway, we found one and took a photo, and we got a smile out of Katie. And so, as you can see, I'm not letting my photo placement, letting the background influence my photo placement. I had this beautiful piece of vellum, and I just kind of layered it on top of the my journaling, and I put a clear sticker of a palm tree there. We went to the Hard Rock Cafe next. She had loved the Hard Rock Cafe in London so much. John and I knew the way to the one in Paris, so we walked down Rue Haussmann and to the cafe. I kind of like what I did with the enamel dots here. I have to try that technique more often. More Amy Tangerine stickers from the sticker book, an Amy Tangerine tag. This page is featuring, it says, Bonjour, great hotel. The other one was bad hotel. Right near we're Hilton Honors Club members, so we looked for a Hilton, and not too far from the Hard Rock Cafe, we found a Hilton that actually had been built originally for the Paris Exposition, I think in the 1920s. And it had fallen into disrepair, had recently been purchased and renovated by Hilton, and had just been open maybe a few months. And what was really exciting, it was kind of beautiful. Katie really loved the bathroom. It was a huge room. And what we really loved was that there was, and I have pictures of it further down, I'm sure, there was a Lego exhibit throughout the lobby. There were the most amazing Lego artists, so we got some really good photos of those. And Katie's big thing was she wanted to get her hair done in Paris. So we asked for and got a recommendation that was just a short walk from the hotel. And I got a photo of her hair on the floor, took a before and after photo, and named this picture Hairdo in Paris. And here she liked this photo showing the highlights that she got. We have the original recommendation from the concierge at the hotel. This is another one of those little pages that kind of can act as an index or a fun page. And this is the Lego exhibit. There's some unused tickets. We bought a package of tickets to several museums and attractions, and ended up doing other things and didn't use those tickets. I think, again, it was Katie's trip, and whatever she was interested in doing is what we did. These are some of the examples of the Lego art that was in the lobby. We went to our biggest sightseeing day. We took the metro to a cafe near the Eiffel Tower, and we went up to the second deck and took in all of the views. So this is actually from our ticket. This is Katie standing next to a photo that's in where the line queues up to actually take the elevator. I did some die cuts or punches and some artwork here. I did the ink outlines to kind of mimic how the clouds were outlined. This is one of my favorite pages because there are several different representations of the tower, and I'm not sure what I was thinking with the design because things are a little bit wonky and I don't know if it would pass a design class test, but I like it. I have this divider page because I printed this photo on glossy or satin or some kind of paper, and I didn't want it to stick to this glossy photo, which it was doing when I first closed it. So this is my favorite photo of the Eiffel Tower, or maybe my favorite photo of the whole vacation, where we were purchasing the tickets, where the bus dropped us off. There was a view through the trees to see the tower, and you could see the sky and the green of the trees and the apartments here. It's, to me, just a beautiful picture. And we took many other beautiful pictures, and I must not have been following my current feeling, which is that matte paper is much better. It photographs easier, and particularly when you don't have page protectors, the glossy photos can kind of stick to themselves. So these are all, there were some ducks and some beautiful gardens around the tower, and then these are some photos from the tower. And again, the background papers have absolutely nothing to do color-wise or subject-wise, my photos, but they provide nice color surrounding other photos. So every color is represented in the book, and I'm thinking that's okay. So we took the Bateau Parisien on the Seine and got some distant views of Notre Dame and the Eiffel Tower. And I have John saying, "I love Paris," and Grandma's kind of photobombing there. Let me put this. I think I'll move it around like I did yesterday. Let me see if I can do that. I used strips of scrap here to kind of fill in this spot, and with the neutral black and white paper in the background, all these other colors seem to fit. Because it was a boat, I had this wood veneer of a sailboat. Thought that was cool. These are the tickets to the Bateau Parisien. A sticker. This was the these black and white inked flowers were the only ones there, but I actually had a sticker that had the same type of flower, so I put that there to add some color, used some Paris stickers. This is one of my favorite pictures of Katie and me in the boat with the Eiffel Tower in the background and me with my big old camera. And I used a stamp that says "Good Times." This was one of those, if you've been watching me long, you know that I have an obsession with those touristy photos, portraits that people take and then sell you for an exorbitant amount of money. I just love them, and they're always some of my favorite photos. So John and I decided to goof around behind Katie here, and that again is one of my favorite photos. And I had this word strip. Let me get this light around. I had this word strip that says "The best days go like this." Again, kind of a neutral beigey background, but I used that beautiful green vellum to back. This was the border that the portrait people printed the photo on, so that came with the photo. It has all kinds of scenes of Paris all around it, so it's kind of nice. This was the Bateau Parisien route description with some pictures of some highlights. One of the things that we particularly enjoyed was a street artist who was using watercolors to do nameplates, and we got one made for Katie and one for Ava. And this was, I got videos of her actually making the girls' nameplates, and I have those separately. These were some stills that we took of her doing, starting them. We went back to the hotel and had lunch at a nice cafe that looked out on a courtyard, and we were so thrilled to find veggies on the menu. So John and I just bought side dishes of all the veggie selections that were there, and had some nice wine. It wasn't a typical Parisian cafe, as this little sticker would imply, but it was certainly a nice afternoon snack. After that lunch, we went shopping down Haussmann to Printemps, and they were celebrating their 150th anniversary. And so there was this little logo guy there. This photo that serves as the background paper here was it was the ceiling of the overhanging roof, I guess, kind of the sidewalk ceiling, if you will, and it was just festively adorned with flowers, and I thought that would make a nice background, and I found some pink paper to go around my. I like this page a lot. We weren't too far on the way. Printemps is on the way to the Hard Rock Cafe on Rue Haussmann, and so we went down to the Hard Rock Cafe again, so I used their logo and a guitar, and she ordered, I forget what this was. She had forgotten her Hard Rock Cafe t-shirt the night before, so we went back and bought more, and there's a shake available, or there was then, that has bacon on the top, and Katie is a bacon fanatic, so we got her a shake with bacon. Here's a strip of the same paper that I made from the photo of the ceiling along the sidewalk, and I just kind of used that as a break point. We took a bus tour and went to Sacré-Cœur, and this was a view that we got from between the buildings on Haussmann on the way to Hard Rock Cafe, and then we got closer and went there. The lines were maybe 4 hours long at each entrance, so we sat at a cafe across the street and took this photo. And at the end, in order to get to something we were going to do in the evening, we didn't have time the lines had gotten down to maybe 2.5 hours. And so we still decided not to go. And I regret that because John and I really loved that when we visited Paris the first time. Okay, so on the next day, we were taking the train to Brussels. We were going to take the Thalys to Brussels, and we hadn't seen we hadn't been on the Champs-Élysées, and she hadn't seen the Arc de Triomphe. So that's what we did here. I titled this page Au revoir, used a couple stickers, and this photo that I kind of like. It's Katie full on, and John and me appear to be photobombing. And this is a look down the Champs-Élysées. And this one is titled Off to Brussels. It's one of those insert pages. And I've got the bill from the Hilton. I don't think I must not have the Thales train tickets. They're somewhere. I know I saved them. But this is Katie at one of my favorite pictures of her, sitting at the train station waiting to go. And I've got, I didn't have any Brussels themed stamps or stickers or anything, so I took a free image off the internet and I actually printed it, a free image of the let me see what that is, of the atomium, and it's a big exhibit in Brussels that was built for the World's Fair, and I printed it on some Amy Tangerine tiny heart paper from a 6x6 paper pad, and so it looks like it's been stamped on some pattern paper. So in my journaling here, I wrote, "I'm just waiting for a train." The Stones song came to mind. So this is where we switch. This is the trip to Brussels started off well. We discovered there was working Wi-Fi on the train. That was an issue. Come to think of it, that was probably the main issue with that first hotel in Paris. Up on the 6th floor, there was no Wi-Fi, and it was kind of spotty and inconsistent even down in the lobby. So finding a working Wi-Fi, note to self, finding working Wi-Fi is really important when you have a 13-year-old on a trip anywhere. So that ends the Paris section. The Brussels section is next, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.